What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we have a story time video. I kind of want to just do like throwback because I grew up watching old school YouTube, and I don't know, I kind of prefer that style, you know, like the story times and the draw my life. I'm just like an OG YouTube kind of person. But anyways, I did want to talk about why working at Target for me personally was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Now hold up. I know, okay? Before you guys start crapping on me, for the people who still work there, believe me, okay? I went through my fair share. But overall, I still think it was a good canon event for me. And I'll explain to you guys why right now. My main goal with this channel is to do funny gaming content as well as camera focused content like this as well, because I want to be able to connect with people. I want to be able to make gaming videos because that's just something I grew up with and something I really enjoy. And I just want to be able to make people laugh with it. I also want to be able to do videos like this. So it's like a way for me to get myself out there as well. My main goal for this too is to build a community. It's always been kind of a dream of mine to build a community and to maybe inspire people, something that maybe you guys can walk away from my videos like this, whether it's entertainment or personal growth. I feel like making videos like this will be better for me to connect with you guys and also to reach out to you guys in a way that I never knew I could. That's kind of my main goals for this channel. And as I continue to do more, maybe those goals will increase or they'll change or they'll be better. I don't know. That's kind of like the point of this. It's supposed to be a journey. And I'm kind of really happy to start the journey and see where it takes me. It could either take me somewhere, it could take me nowhere, but either way, I'm going to walk away with growth. So that's something that can't be taken away from me. Anyways, let's get into the video. So let me just give you a little backstory. Me personally, I've always been an introverted kind of person. It's always been kind of hard for me to speak to people. It was always not my greatest strength. I kind of was a person where I'd wait until people would speak to me. If no one would speak to me, I wouldn't really communicate with them. And I had friends in high school, but I could have had a lot more had I just been like more social, reached out more, been a little more extroverted. And working at Target, actually, hold up. Should I put on the uniform? I don't know. That's cringe. You know, I'll put on the uniform one last time. All right, hold up. Bam! I'm back, guys. Look at this. Look at this sick-ass uniform. This is how the hell I had to be dressed for work. Haven't put this on since I quit. Okay, so as I was saying, it was always very hard for me to talk to people and, you know, be that kind of person who was outgoing. And I got this job around the time that COVID had kind of like ended. And I had also just come out of a surgery. So surgery mixed with COVID, it was really hard for me to speak to people. This was kind of one of the most uncomfortable experiences pretty much in my life, because I had worked jobs, but not jobs really speaking to customers. And I mean, you know the reputation of jobs being the worst, like warehouse jobs and, you know, retail and fast food. And it's usually warehouse jobs are at the top, then fast food, and then retail. But damn, bro, they weren't kidding for the retail. So I got the job. And also too, by the way, I've heard supposedly it's really hard to get into Target. And I think I almost got into it like in my first try. And some people were like, how'd you get into Target, bro? It's so hard. And I was like, what? For real? So they were telling me like, yeah, it was pretty hard. So I guess it was something that I found out. Okay, so I remember going to Target and I was really anxious. I was really shy. I was really scared about my interactions with the guests because I was like, oh my God, I really don't want to be one of those workers who don't know what they're doing. I know obviously it was my first time, but I didn't want to be like, oh, sorry, I just got hired. I don't know what I'm doing. Because if anything, it would just be like, I mean, some people would probably be like, oh, that's good, bro. That's good, you know? Just learn. Other people were like,
bro, you stupid.
This is the kind of people they hire? Like, nah, bro, get them out of here.
So once I started finally working, I remember one of the guest interactions, I was like pretty shy, and he came up to me and he asked me, he was like, hey, like, do you know where the padlocks are or the combination, something like that. So then I started searching up on the Zebra, and I was like shaking because I was scared. I was scared of giving him the wrong answer and then he would be mad at me. So I was just like shaking. I remember I was shaking on the Zebra and I was trying to search it up, and I don't know why, but it didn't come up for me. So I ended up taking out my phone and I searched it up on the phone instead, and I finally found it, and I told him, oh, it's going to be on this aisle. But I think I remember I passed by, and I think I remember I sent him down the wrong aisle anyways. And I think at one point, like, I saw him in the distance and I think he like noticed me, but I never really got a chance, or he never got a chance for him to say anything to me. And by the way, when I was working at Target, I was working fulfillment. So my fellow fulfillment people, I salute you guys. Honestly, if I would choose any position, I think I would have chosen fulfillment over anything else. Now it's just something that I really liked. I really liked doing fulfillment. It really put me in a spot where I had to talk to people, coworkers and guests alike. If I could do it all over again, I think I would still choose fulfillment. Eventually, over time of working there, I started started getting like a little more familiar. I wasn't as scared to talk to coworkers. I wasn't as scared to talk to the guests at the stores too, especially like the higher up. But then I don't know, it was like almost like one day I just started thinking like, you know what, I kind of want to be a person that people remember. I don't want to be one of those people that just works at a place and then they're forgotten because they never really said much, or they didn't really do much, or they didn't leave an impact. And I guess I just started thinking too, I never, like I said, was a social person. So I kind of wanted to test myself and put myself through uncomfortable situations so that I could grow and I could start talking to people and I would be able to build my social skills. So that was kind of like a goal I had in my head. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to push myself to do this. I know it's really uncomfortable. And it was, because I was really anxious and really shy, like I said. So it was kind of like a challenge for me personally to see if I can do this. And during the first times, it was so freaking hard. Like every time I would start a conversation with someone new, whether it was a guest or a coworker, I remember feeling like my body almost wanted to like shrivel up because my body just felt so uncomfortable. I just didn't want to be in that activity, participating. I remember the first kind of interactions, it felt like that, and I purposely would push myself. I'd be like, no, this is good, because you're feeling uncomfortable. So that means you're going to grow from this. It's not something that you're in your comfort zone where you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow, and nothing's going to change and everything's going to stay the same. That was like my goal going into this. So fast forward a couple of interactions, I started getting to a point where I was starting to like build that social skill, with the small talk and like just talk in general. That was just something that I struggled with. And as I talked to more people, I was able to start building it. And they got to a point where I almost wasn't really shy anymore to speak to people. It was something that felt like really amazing. I don't know how else to describe it, because I just remember for so long just being so scared to talk to people, not really knowing how to talk to people. And because I was constantly being put with all these different people, from morning people to afternoon people to closing people, like just different kinds of people, whether it was coworkers, guests, or leads. And then it got to a point where people started to notice me. Like I started leaving an impact, and that's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want to be the shy, introverted person anymore. I wanted to be able to grow into something that I thought I could be, but didn't know if I could. So that's why I decided to push myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it no matter how uncomfortable I get. Even if there's like a point where maybe I'm comfortable, but it's almost like I still want to revert back, and I don't want to really be speaking to people as much like I used to. There were times where I did feel that way. I did feel times where I was like, no, I don't really want to speak to people anymore. I would kind of almost like revert. And in those times, I just kept pushing myself to say, no, you got to keep pushing. Even if it's uncomfortable, you got to keep pushing. That's the only way you're going to grow. Besides making an impact on people, I also started to be the person to invite people to do things, because I was always a kind of person too who would just let other people do the planning, do the hangout. I was always just like a spectator and participator, but I was never the organizer. And this was something that I started thinking, like, you know what, besides just me talking to people, let me just start organizing things too, hangouts or meetups, or let's do this on this day, things like that. And I did. I started hanging out with small groups of people sometimes, like one-on-one. Other times it was big groups. Other times it was hanging out with people, and then maybe even like people that I'd meet while we were hanging out outside. I would start speaking to them. Like it just kept growing and growing and growing, and it showed me that I could do it. I didn't have to be the shy person that I was my whole life. Since I kept pushing myself, I managed to find my best friend too in Target. I found my best friend. We planned a lot of things together. Me and him planned like canyon runs every single now and then. We also invited the other people, and I made so many memories in just 1 year of me being there. And if I had to say, I would say it was kind of like one of the best years of my life with the amount of things that I did. I learned so much and I grew so much. I was even able to stop being shy on camera, because I remember when I first started doing this, I was really shy. I couldn't really even speak. My thoughts would be kind of all over the place, and I'd get shy and I would stop a lot, and I would just start thinking about what else to say, and I couldn't really be myself. And because of that experience, I feel like I'm now more comfortable than ever speaking into the camera or speaking to people I don't know, or just doing things like that. Like it's second nature for me to do these things. That's just one of the things that helped me grow as a person, and just like in general in my life. I was able to grow so much from something that I guess wasn't that important or wasn't that big. And like, I mean, for you guys, it could be different. It could be maybe an internship or college or your corporate job, or it could be maybe hobbies or going to the gym. It could be any of those things that helped you grow or helped build you to a certain level, or, you know, do things that you never thought you could do. But yeah, guys, that was just something, you know, that I really wanted to share. You guys can tell me what you guys thought. But I would say Target was definitely my canon event. I definitely needed this because it just helped me in so many ways that I never thought it would. So if you guys like this video, make sure you drop a like in the video. Make sure you comment something down below. Let me know what you guys think, especially if you guys are working at Target, or maybe, you know, just like I said, maybe something else that you've gone through in life, or something that you've done that helped you grow as a person and do things that you never thought you could. But yeah, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on post notifications so you guys are notified every single time I post a new video, because I do have a bunch of ideas. I really want to execute them. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I am kind of busy, so it's kind of hard for me to manage, but I'll do my best. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hold it.